podcast. It is just Josh this fucking week because Dylan has goddamn the coronavirus. I swear to fucking God, he has contracted COVID. I don't know how. Luckily, I don't have it. I think I don't have it. There's people here with me who may or may not be risking their lives to be around me, but Dylan is not here, so sitting in is Zach and Avery. And we don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about. We just had a fucking big dinner and all took a little bit of mushrooms, but we need something to put up, so we're here. So thank you very much, boys, for chatting with me. This is going to be a fucking quick one. It is so fucking late at night, and I don't even wanna. So we just took, fucking some pork to the belly and got some Coors Light now, and we're here. So Avery, since he was last here, almost died.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now he is...
Type 2.
Type 2? Yeah, okay. I didn't want to fuck it up. Now he has AIDS.
I have AIDS, yeah.
Almost went to the hospital, and the guy's like, you have AIDS.
Yeah. Do you want me to tell a story what happened?
Yeah, I wish we could do...
You guys have heard it before, so.
I wish we could do audio-visual type things. Maybe I could, get that picture that you sent me and put it on our Facebook page, which seems like...
Might not be a good idea.
If it's anonymous...
I don't know if I want that photo
I guess it's
there.
Not anonymous because there's a story that goes with it.
Yeah, it's not anonymous after I
guess if you decide later that it's okay, then we'll put it up.
I don't know. It's pretty brutal. I think it'll get
gnarly.
But what
for sure.
Just make that the thumbnail for your...
It needs to be your Steam profile,
Oh, definitely. Yeah, my Steam profile needs to be replaced.
So explain what happened, I guess, because assuming someone's listening to this, they don't know what the fuck.
So I woke up, I want to say on a Saturday. I don't remember exact day. And I had what I thought was an ingrown hair on my nut. It was on my nutsack. So I was
pretty normal.
Kind of in the crease of your leg in your nuts, I guess. So it hurt, but it wasn't super painful. I actually went to work, I think 2 days, and then I think it was the second day, going into the third day, it had probably grown maybe 5 to 6 times the size. It was probably the size of a golf ball, and it was super painful at that point. And then jump ahead to Tuesday night. It was so painful. I rescheduled all my appointments, and then I stayed home that day, and I couldn't even get out of bed. And I was pretty sure I was going to go to the doctors, and then I thought it was a cyst, so I was like, okay, this is probably just some weird fucking cyst, and so it probably just needs to be popped. And so I took a fucking needle, and I laid on the bathroom.
Did you clean the needle first?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I actually used medical grade disinfectant. So.
Oh, true. I guess you have access to that.
Yeah, I have access to that stuff. So then my wife, your guys' sister, tried to help me, and she squeezed on it. And you know those videos where it's
Dr. Pimple Popper?
Confetti flying out of it? I guess that's what it... I was in such pain, I couldn't even... I had to close my eyes. Yeah, so it was like string, when you squeeze something and string shoots out.
But large?
No, she said it was really small, and she didn't even know where it all went. We cleaned up everything. It was really fucking gross. So then I went to bed, and then the next day, Wednesday night, was the worst. And so I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go to ER or to urgent care. But before that even happened, the hole had expanded, and all the fluid, well, not all the fluid actually, most of the fluid and tons of blood, pus, all kinds of stuff just busted out. And so my whole leg was just covered in shit. So I cleaned myself up, all that stuff. The next day, it was Thursday morning, and I went to the ER emergency room. I could barely walk. And the lady asked, I went in, they checked me in, it took me about an hour. The lady asked to look at it, and so yeah, I just pulled my dick out. And I showed her, and she was like, you need to go to the ER immediately.
You have a hole in your dick.
Yeah, you have a hole in your dick. And so at this point, it started expanding. It was probably actually only the size of a quarter. And then, so then I go to the ER, and they put me on fast track. They just think it's a cyst still. And so I go, and the doctor comes in, and he looks at it, and it's one of those situations where he's talking to you in your face, and he's like, oh yeah, this isn't a big deal, blah blah. He's like, yeah, have you had fever? Have you had this? And I was like, yeah, I had a really bad fever last night, and a little bit of one today. And he leaves, and like, no joke, I could still hear him talking to another doctor on the other side of the wall, and he's just like, I don't think he cussed, but he's just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Like, has a hole in his dick.
Like, this guy's gonna lose his cock.
Yeah, so in the ER, everything takes so much longer. You're just laying there, you don't know what's going on. And then he came back and he's like, well, I talked to about 12 doctors, and he's like, I'm really concerned what is going on. And at that point, it had like opened up, and it was probably almost the size at the max, maybe $50, like the hole. Like, literally, you could look in.
Are you shitting me? It was
No,
the hole was the size of a $50?
Yeah, it was huge at one point.
What did you see when you looked in there? Just muscle?
Yeah, it was just like meat. It just looked like meat inside there.
Jesus Christ.
So then so he was freaking out a little bit, and he was like, we need to do a CAT scan, we need to do cultures, we need to do all these things. Yeah, hopefully someone listening won't correct me, because I don't know. There was just so much shit. They pulled a ton of blood, all this stuff. And so I got to sit there again for a couple more hours, and then did the CAT scan. And at the time, they said they couldn't find anything. Beyond that, it was a fatty tissue. So that's why they did some cultures. I think they were worried it could have been like cancer or anything like that, Then they were worried that the infection, because the infection had spread so much that he said, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was pretty much like a gangrene kind of style thing.
It's not like sepsis or
Septic.
Septic. Yeah,
Septic.
they were talking about going
Your body
septic.
goes septic,
It's when it's in your bloodstream.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that green it's a particular one to do with like your genitals and stuff. Yeah.
Of course.
That I would lose. They would have to cut my
Green
nuts
dick.
off. My nuts off. Yeah.
Now just your
shit, he's
just
got
your
green
nuts.
dick.
Or
Just
your-
my nuts. Yeah. That's what they originally were talking about. So then they asked me if I would be able to stay at night. They wanted to give me some heavy antibiotics. They put me on antibiotics right away with IV. I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll stay at night. And then that turned into 6 days. So
And they hadn't told you anything about the diabetes at this point yet?
no, so then they couldn't find me a room. So I was at the Valley Hospital, and they transferred me to Deaconess, and I had to ride an ambulance there.
Okay.
And when I got to the new hospital, I think, so this started around 12 in the mornings when I went to the urgent care. I got to the Deaconess, I think I want to say around 8 or 9. No, around 9 or 10, actually, because Kaylee couldn't come in. They don't allow visitors past 8 o'clock. So then a new doctor came in. They did all new assessments. So at this point, I've probably showed 12 people my dick.
Which is like more than you have in your real life.
Oh, my
Like,
whole life.
Yeah.
Literally my whole life. Other than like when I played football.
In a 24
Yeah, in my
48 hour
whole life. Yeah. And not only like your dick isn't at its like best. You're not
Right,
like
yeah.
you're not like going into a situation where
Yeah.
you're like going in with like 60% and you're just
Yeah.
like, it looks good and shit. Like
You're in pain.
I'm
and
in
it's
so
cold.
much pain and my nuts are so swollen. It looks like
True. It's like
it looks like an acorn sitting in a bush or something.
yeah, the proportion the proportions are off.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's just
yeah.
like-
yeah. I mean, I'm glad.
She's like, and I'm just gonna move this small penis to look at the hole
yeah.
that's down here. I'm gonna move this. It's not that hard to move it.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You just gotta literally like blow
Yeah.
some wind on it. It'll
Yeah,
move.
let me move this little tiny
thing.
baby.
She's like, I'm
penis.
gonna tape it down. It's small enough. I can get a small little piece of tape and tape it to your torso.
Yeah.
Just get it out of the way.
So that's when the doctor was like, I'm really like, not only am I worried about what's going on with this infection and hole and all this other stuff, he's like, have you had tested for diabetes? And I was like, well, no, I haven't, like most people. And so he's like, your sugar levels right when they did a test was at 398. So normal person has blood sugars between 100 and 140. So my blood sugar at 398 is like 2.5 times the amount that you're supposed to have, right?
Damn.
Is that about right? Yeah.
You're like Willy Wonka.
Yeah, so, and then they told me, that I'm lucky because if I hadn't come in and it had gone even further up, I think they said around 400 is when you could slip into a coma.
Turn into a candy cane.
Yeah, yeah. So then, yeah, they were super worried. Like at first, I wasn't that worried. I was just kind of like, this sucks, Obviously, I hold my dick or my nuts, and then, so, yeah, I wasn't worried at first, but then all compounding of them talking about everything, and then the next day it just kept getting worse. So they would wake me up at like 2:00 in the morning every day, take tons of blood. At one point, I took a picture. I had all these. It literally looked like I was shooting up, just tons of bruises and stuff. And then all night had me IVs, just cycling through 2 different IVs. I think the longest I would have is maybe 4-5 hours break. So I would try to sleep during that time. And then every day was the same. So the first full day there, and then the second day, they were like, oh, it's getting better. Everything is going good. And then at about 12:30 in the morning or night, I woke up and I just like had the worst fucking pain. And took a picture, sent it to Kaylee, my wife, and the infection had spread to my asshole pretty much.
Jesus.
And another cyst.
Like you're gonna lose your asshole. You're like,
yeah.
What?
So another cyst had formed, and it literally drained down into like my ass. And so they had told me that second day that they were probably just gonna release me and give me antibiotics. So like, no, you have to stay
like,
longer.
hey, it's way worse.
Yeah, so it became 4 more days. And I think I've talked to, at that point, probably by the time I was done, I think I had seen about 50 people that had to take
At that
a look
point
at
where
it.
you're just everyone, you're like, do you want to see my dick?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Towards the end,
the
it
janitor,
literally
like, do
was...
you want to just see it?
Yeah, totally. And like,
He's like, sure, man.
I love my
Stand on the
wife,
floor,
but it was
see-
just funny because there was points where there's like you would be embarrassed usually. Some hot nurse comes in and she's like, I got to take a look at it.
like-
I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just fucking look at it. Like, just, I do not care. Just look at this. I mean, I guess I'm proud that no one laughed at it.
Yeah, what a fucking shitty
Yeah.
job.
They see a lot of dicks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they had to do probably worse stuff than
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there was a lot of like trainees. There was a couple training like doctors, and then I didn't care. I think the worst part of it is towards the end. The hole started shrinking, and the problem is if the hole shrank and closed, and there was still an infection inside, then it would just seal, and the infection would spread again. And so what they had to do is, I'm sure people have seen those videos where it looks like they're pulling out an infection. They're not pulling out an infection, they're pulling out gauze. And so they had to pack it full of gauze every day. And at the longest, it was probably between 2.5 to 3 feet long. And it was a 1/4 inch wide. And so they would take this Q-tip, probably, I would say at least a foot long, and they would just pack it down. And the longest they said it was, the hole was 11 centimeters. So it was like, I think centimeters, it's like that big. So it went down and wrapped around my leg. And then, so yeah, those first 2 days were the scariest, I think, because like they literally were like, you could die. Like if this gets worse, you're gonna die.
Why can't they just kind of cut you open where that infection is
It's
just
the
drained
location
whole
of it where it was. So like I had to have not just regular. So they had like wound specialists come in. Everyone had to okay it. So they had doctors that had to okay that it was getting better. They had a wound specialist come in every day to make sure that it was getting better. They had a urologist.
Pee doctor?
Yeah, had to come in and make sure everything was
Taste
okay.
it. Like,
They and then they did another
really
ultrasound.
Short guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone who bites.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it got better, so I think it was good. But they were like super worried. So yeah, I have to take insulin now. They said that I probably, because of how high I think it's called A1C test, which determines what your average is over the last 3 months. I've probably had diabetes for years and years. So
Damn.
yeah, so it's not a new thing. It's just something I wasn't even keeping track of. So Yep. And you guys saw me shoot up insulin. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, you did it in my kitchen. And
Yeah.
I was realizing, like, man, I wouldn't know if that wasn't heroin. I would have no way to tell.
Yeah.
You're just like,
Besides his eyes rolling in the back of his
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't know. I guess I've never. You would think it's really common. I've never seen someone. I can't look at the needle going in the arm though.
I think what the crazy part is like we always see that ad with the old dude that like Miss says,
Like, who did I hit?
"No diabetes" or
Yeah.
whatever. And so we don't take it serious, but it is crazy. Like after getting out and reading, while I was in there, I was reading it. I mean, that's the biggest reason I wasn't healing, is because like you heal so much slower. Like I probably would have been out of there like the next day,
Now,
and it
you-
would have never gotten as far as
Do you
it
heal
did.
permanently slower or only when your blood sugar is spiking?
Permanently, because my blood sugar spikes while I'm like if I get an infection or anything like that.
Oh.
So I'll be more prone, from what I understand, I'll be more prone to getting infections, and then I'll also, when it happens, it'll take twice as long, if not even longer than that. So yeah,
So diabetes isn't good, basically.
diabetes is not good.
Okay.
It's probably the worst.
I'm so surprised I don't have it.
Yeah. Have you guys been tested?
No, I just feel like such a toad that I probably have it.
Yeah. That's well, what's fucked
well-
up is they ask me all these questions, and I would be like, "Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
that's me." Have you been losing your vision recently? Yep. Are you thirsty all the time? Sure,
Yep.
sure am, sure am. Yep.
Yeah, I did that 23andMe,
Yeah.
and they were like, you have a 77% chance of getting diabetes type 2.
Like, that's a
And I was
lot.
like, that's pretty high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah,
So, yeah, I should probably get tested and see.
Or just like,
it's a simple test. They
eating
just draw
clean and
blood, and
work
that's
out.
it. Yeah, and they'll tell you.
yeah, I don't know.
But at least type 2 can be like,
Yeah, you can adjust it from what I understand. The hope is always is you can reverse it. I think the biggest thing I've struggled with is because my blood sugar is so high naturally, and if they're true, that it's been like this for years, that's my norm, right? So my norm is they did the A1C, I think, test. I might be butchering, but that test was like 290s, and so normal is between 100 and 140. And so since it's so high all the time, that's what I've been running on. They're trying to get me all the way down between 100 and 140. And what I found is like that first 2 weeks, because I've been out of work for now almost a month and a half, is those first 2 weeks have been like the worst. I'm just always tired, can't do anything, like can't even
Oh,
think.
because your blood
Can't
sugar,
even,
you're not
like,
used
think.
to your blood sugar being so low.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, I have an appointment with like my actual doctor and go over like our options and stuff like that. But I think that's one of the things I'm going to talk to him about is easing off of it versus just like forcing your body, because I feel like they were giving me. So when you do your test to figure out where your blood sugar is, there's a chart and it'll tell you like what you need to take for insulin. They were telling me to take that insulin plus 5 to bring my blood sugar down. So like I was crashing my body, you know? So every day it was
Damn.
just like not working. I couldn't even think. So it's a lot better now. Plus I take mushrooms every day.
Yeah, you shared a little bit with
Yeah.
us before, and I can feel them starting to arrive. Are you trying to maneuver it to
This
the
is
fridge?
pretty difficult.
It's
Hey,
pretty-
let me get
yeah.
it for you.
I think I got it.
I'm sorry, it's not super
can't reach.
convenient. I want to do a new table, really bad.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at woodworking. It would be fucked up. It would be fucking jacked up.
Yeah.
I need Jamie to do it for me, because
We might be getting rid of our table and
I want to attach it to the wall.
oh, that'd
I
be
want
cool.
to attach it to the wall so it's just permanent. And this thing's just too big. We don't need it to be
Should
around.
grab a
like this.
few.
Beers?
Are you gonna have a beer?
I will have a beer.
Whoa. Okay.
Why
And
not?
so, how does alcohol work with your diabetes?
So anytime I look at stuff, let me see one of those. You just look at the carbs. So like, so the way they explain it to me is you take your carbs and minus your fiber, and you want to keep it under about 60 per meal. And I actually didn't eat lunch, so should be fine.
To have like a beer.
Yeah. And like, I mean, you guys have known me for like 12 years. Every time I have a beer, I'm like fucked up. So
Right.
I
Damn.
probably could do one beer and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Ugh. So what the fuck else? That's all I had.
Yeah.
And that's it. So that's the show. Good night, guys. That's it. What's new with you, Zachary? You're back from Seattle, sleeping on an air mattress again in my living room, just big chilling.
Yeah, big chilling.
Is that
Working
thing
from
nice?
home a lot. It's all right.
I kind of envy you. I'm not gonna lie. Working from home, I am kind of tired of going to a building
pretty nice.
to go to work.
Stay in my sweatpants. I've like not taken my sweatpants off since January. Like,
That's
straight up,
awesome.
like every day, except for when it was like 100.
Yeah.
And you're like, why the fuck am I in
it's-
sweatpants?
And then I just sweated harder in my sweatpants. But yeah, that's pretty much been my life. Just working from home, and that's about it. Because everything is closed.
Do you think everything's gonna be permanently changed? Like
Yeah.
I think I don't know
There's
if
already
we talked
like,
about this before, but
hundreds of businesses that are permanently closed in Seattle.
yeah.
So,
Well, I'm
Big
talking
cities
about
are
like
over.
jobs.
Oh,
So like jobs in general. I feel like we talked to my buddy Drew. He works for a game company, and like that was a few months ago, and they said that like productivity has gone up so much that they're considering just having an office for meetings,
Yeah.
and then everyone could just stay home, like permanently, as long
It
as
just
it
depends.
stays, which is
that
awesome.
just depends on what kind of office culture the company has.
Yeah.
Like with us, like we believe in like person on person culture, so we're
Yeah.
not ever gonna be a remote permanently.
Yeah,
But like it's nice right now when we can, because it's like what we want, but they don't. But
yeah.
God, yeah, I would almost always, in every scenario, prefer working from home. I guess it's harder to focus, but if you have an office or you have a studio like this,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the move.
I'm kind of in between. Like I understand
It's-
both sides.
I
I
actually-
love the one-on-one or the talking to a
Yeah.
customer and
Well, yours is hard to
relating.
do from home.
well, yeah,
tattoos
yeah,
is
yeah.
hard to do,
No, yeah, totally.
the thing with my job that sucks is just like not getting to travel, because I was like going to LA every other month and New York and doing all this
Yeah.
cool shit.
New York's
Which-
fucking gone.
Yeah, it seems like it,
Apparently.
but not
Apparently.
really. Like
You think it's
it's
still-
just really
still
just
there?
the major corporations, like he was saying, that like figured out that they don't need an office.
Right. No,
So
I'm just
that's
saying,
a
I know
huge impact. But
it's
like
I
the
read
people
some
that are
stat,
like New York lifers are obviously New York lifers. So
Yeah.
they're still always going to be like,
I think it's the people that realize they're making. It's kind of like California. So we're the closest to California, and we're getting that trickle off. Is that people realize they don't have to live on top of each other, and the
Yeah.
amount of money that they're making, they can get such better houses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like every once in a while I'll see a meme where it's like a picture of a crack house in Spokane for $250, and then an amazing plantation in Georgia for $250. Well, it's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, you also don't want to live out in the middle of
Right.
boondocks.
but
you
then
know?
there's like the compromise with places like this where it actually is a nice area and
Yeah.
the houses are cheap. But like, yeah, there are places like there's a reason the houses are $100,000 because
Yeah.
you're like in the swamp.
Yeah. There's probably
There's, like-
300 bodies built
Yeah.
buried somewhere.
It's like straight up like anacondas.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking up stats on that New York shit. Yeah, it's like 4,000 businesses are gone permanently, and
Wow.
rent is down 50%. And like,
That's the one thing we haven't seen in Seattle.
is the rent go down? People
Yeah,
are-
we haven't seen that new. I think that people are really confused because they think that, like forbearance, there's a lot of programs and things like the governor in Washington. He signed a thing like we can't get kicked out or whatever. But from my understanding, the way that works is it's residential. It's not businesses. So you're protecting the people, but you're not protecting their jobs. So like I dished out, I think around $6,000 for 3 months that I wasn't even in the building because my landlord straight up told me, he's like, I still need to pay my bills.
Right.
Right.
And so if you can't pay your rent, then I have to fill that space. Now, could he have found someone? Probably not. But at the same time, like, I guess I understand where he's coming from. So I
Right.
paid it. So,
Damn, that's rough.
yeah, and a lot of people don't have $6,000 just to hand over to nothing, you know? So,
Yeah, I think a lot of shit's not coming back
no.
after this. I mean, now they're talking about like airlines are going bankrupt and blah 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 blah. Like, it's gonna get bad, and then we're gonna have this fucking election, and
Yeah.
Do you guys think it'll all clear up after the election?
You mean like coronavirus wise,
Yeah.
or just like everything?
Just as far as like opening it back up the
I don't
floodgates.
know.
I don't think so.
It feels like it's
either
gonna
way.
last longer now.
Hmm.
I'm not noticing it getting any better. Like I feel like I mean, literally, Dylan's not here right now.
Yeah.
He's got coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I'm doing
hitting close to home.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit. Like so. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not gonna die. He's just like, yeah, I thought I had a sinus infection. Turns out it's COVID, so I'm gonna chill here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I talked to him. He said he's just gonna buy a bunch of
So
video
one
games
interesting-
and chill out.
Right.
Interesting thing about when I got COVID tested when I went back, because I was sick, when last time I went back, and I was like, oh shit, like what if I got COVID? So I went and got a test, and it just ended up being strep. But when they tested me for COVID, they're like, you're in luck. We just have the short swabs, and I'm like, wait, there's an option.
Right? Does it not work?
So like, okay, so you didn't use like the crazy long one that goes all the way the fuck up and like tickles your brain, but they
Yeah.
still got an adequate sample. So why the fuck do they even need to use the super?
Right.
They're like,
Or do
like
the
if there's
short
an-
ones even work?
or was it not as
'Cause
accurate?
they're
He
long for a
definitely got the
reason.
fuck in there. Like I was like gagging and my eyes were watering, but
Really?
Well,
yeah,
well
like,
here's the
like,
weird
way
your
back
nose.
there. But
Through your
Yeah.
nose?
mhm.
I couldn't, dude.
Dude,
you have to-
I've gotten it. I've gotten it twice.
And you're just
now.
like,
Can't. Later. See ya.
your fucking eyes
See
water.
ya.
What's crazy is so like with tattooing, we have all these new regulations, right? And a lot of the things that people question, especially with the government, and I'm not gonna be shy about it. I think he's a fucking absolute idiot. And people that follow him and suck his dick make no sense to me because there's certain logic that doesn't make sense. So it's okay for you to go to a restaurant, only have 5 people, everyone takes their mask off, everyone's there, and then they go home. And I understand they just recently changed the regulation where it's like, oh, you have to be from the same household. Fuck you. No one is from the same household.
Right.
Having dinner, spending hundreds of dollars with the same people that they're in the house with.
Right.
It's to
Yeah.
go hang out with people. So then your kids, though, can't be in a room where they've already cut classes in half, if not by 4ths, without a mask, right? So
Right.
like one of my kids, he's got 6 kids. So six is the magical number. Like, but if there was 5 kids, it's fine in the classroom. Then they could not worry about a mask.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense. And the biggest thing that I hate about it is the science, like where it's feeding to the idiots that want to sit there and just listen to a governor who this is probably the biggest chance in his life to be important. But
Right.
what does he do other than that? Like most people can't even answer that,
Right.
right? So this is his big moment to be like, oh, I'm fucking taking care of my state to regulate things without even knowing what they are. So when you come in to get tattooed at my shop, we follow the guidelines to the T. There are so many shops that don't even wear masks. They have fucking 20 people in their fucking shop. So anyways, you aren't even allowed to touch anything. We meet you at the door. We unlock the door. You come in. We scan you. We ask you if you've been sick last 3 days or you've been around someone sick no matter what. Go to the bathroom. We follow you in the bathroom after you're done washing your hands. We wipe everything down. Take you to the station. We inform everyone that they can't leave the station. If they go to the bathroom, we have to repeat all that shit. If you go outside, we have to repeat all that shit. So I'm spending hundreds of, not thousands of dollars a month extra on all this stuff, right? When I was in the hospital, none of these people wore gloves when they came in, right? They're all
Oh,
wearing
shit.
masks. I wear a mask.
Yeah.
I wear a gown. I wear shield, goggles. you know,
Goggles, dude? You wore-
Goggles.
you
Yeah.
wore
We're supposed goggles.
Goggles.
Yeah. I think those mushrooms are hitting me.
Yeah. I was looking at you. I was like,
Goggles.
he looks like Zach Galifianakis with
Yeah.
dark hair.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
They're kicking in.
But it just bothers me, I guess. It bothers me because it's like, here I am. I'm seen as like low-end fucking person because I'm a tattoo artist. A doctor is supposed to be seen as a higher-end person.
Yeah.
But they're doing way less regulations. Some of the times the doctors came in, they weren't even wearing a fucking mask. They would put it on
Yeah.
after they came in. So
Oh,
you're just
really?
walking around the fucking hallway, like with no mask on, you know?
Yeah.
And none of them wore gloves unless they touched me. But at the same time, they weren't.
Wait, they were just like fucking with their pen, touching your penis, and then like eating lunch?
No, it was like they would come in without gloves on, or put on gloves to touch anything in the room, and then put on gloves just to touch me. But that's fine because like you would do that.
Where did they touch you?
They touched me on my penis.
Dude, wow.
But it's weird that they didn't like constantly be putting gloves on, right? Because that's one of my biggest expenses. I think I was telling you guys before. I used to be able to get a case of gloves for around $100. Most recently, they're between $200 and like $400 for a case.
Damn.
So, like, I'm spending the money to protect people, but a doctor is not. I think it's just very weird. Maybe they know something we don't. You know.
Yeah, it's like not in the budget.
That's what all
I would hope they have.
All these inconsistencies make the conspiracy people
Yeah.
go crazy.
Yeah,
You know?
it makes it really hard to not like assume the worst, man. Like doctors are like, it's fucking fake.
Either,
Like, wait,
it's
what?
either well,
Like-
it's either it's fake or there's nothing we can do to stop it.
I think
Yeah.
there's nothing we can do to stop it, and everyone's probably gonna get it, and most of you it's not.
Or you're
gonna
not.
fucking be that bad.
You're either not or
Yeah.
you are. It's just like any.
So I'm in I now after finding out I have diabetes though, I'm in that high bracket. Like it'll fuck me up. Like when I was there and they had me leave, they're like, you can't go back to work for at least a month until this is 100% healed.
Like the infection itself.
Yeah, but also just having diabetes, you put yourself at risk. If my immune system is so weak, then and I get it, like there's a good chance
fighting
that
an
I'll
infection
die.
and a lung
Yeah.
infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even that, even if I'm out of that, I could die from it. So, but the thing is it's kind of like one of those things. I'm not trying to like talk dark or whatever, but it is what it is. It's kind of like everyone's gonna eventually get it, right?
Right.
That, like you said. So
Yeah.
how are we?
So you're
gonna
just kind of
stop
like
it?
waiting to die, basically.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's like more or less.
More or less.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to like, unless there's a vaccine that comes out, but I just feel like everyone's gonna get it, and most people are gonna kind of brush it off in 3 days.
Do you feel like they overreacted and now they're just not willing to admit that though?
No, because I mean, if we didn't know it wasn't that deadly to most people, we probably would have reacted differently. I think what we thought was that this was like gonna kill,
Well, no, that's what I'm
you know,
saying.
fucking
Yeah.
30% of the population, and so we were like, get off the toilet paper or whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck, you know,
Get off the
like
We're gonna be shitting our brains.
yeah,
out.
we're gonna shit a lot right before we die.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you're sick, you won't be eating, so you won't be. Shitting.
No, I mean like, I feel like they weren't sure what it was, so they freaked out, thought we were all gonna die. But then now they realize, like, haven't they said like World Health Organization and CDC? If you go to their websites, it says like there's no cases of it transferring through a hard surface.
Right.
Yeah.
So why are we spraying everything with
Right.
disinfectant?
Still.
Right.
Right.
And then also the numbers have come down because of them. I personally don't think it was on purpose. I think it was like it was such crazy disease, came so fast, they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. They were representing it or whatever and falsely putting out positives. And then now they've kind of gotten it better, but they can't. I feel like they can't admit it. They just can't come out and be like, okay, like this isn't as bad as we thought. Like,
I thought
yes,
about that.
2% of people might die,
Right.
but we're not gonna have the world isn't gonna get wiped out. You know, like the way that
Right.
they're acting.
But do you think since it became a political thing, now it's being used as that?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, the timing's ironic.
You know, like it was like at first it wasn't, and then they could have gotten in trouble, but then like the people evolved it into a political thing, and now
Yeah.
they're like, oh, well, now we'll kind of use this as
It's a
leverage
political
on
football
either
now, as
side,
they
you
say.
know,
Yeah.
with all the fucking tribalism.
But why does it have to be political? Like that's
everything
a weird
is.
thing.
Everything is.
Yeah.
That's why just everything is so fucking annoying right now.
It's almost like I don't know if you guys remember, but I feel like when we were growing up, the big hot topic was religion, right? Everyone fought it with each other.
Yeah.
Of like,
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. You're not a Christian. You're a bad person. You're a rapist,
Mhm.
right? It's. I feel like in our generation, a bunch of us. I know you guys did, and I did too. Grow up super Christian, or whatever, and then you grow up and you realize this is bullshit, or
Yeah.
I don't believe in this anymore.
Yeah, once I had like a
Right.
functioning brain,
Yeah.
I was just like, wait,
But we were
you're
t-
all fucking hypocrites.
Right, but we
You're telling me I'm a shitty
Do you
person.
think
You got a
splitting-
DUI last weekend, you know, or like
Yeah.
you see all the shit in the paper, especially when you live in a small town.
snakes in
like-
the grass.
What?
Yeah.
Do you
You,
think
like, find
drinking
out-
a vial of acid had anything to do with us, like maybe straying away from? You think that they
That
contributed?
happened?
If
Yeah.
we were to do that, do you think that would have,
Maybe
in a hypothetical situation where
hypothetically,
we
yeah,
may,
that might
where
make someone.
if we may or may not have done that in the past?
No, it just it just I came up with my own logical, I guess.
Yeah.
Religion, my own. It was just like, just don't be a shitty fucking person,
Yeah.
and that's all. I gathered what I needed from it, I guess, and then I didn't need to like keep. Like, it got to the point where like people were like thinking Josh and I were demons, like straight up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, like, we're like, believe me, we don't want to be here. we drive
Well,
like,
but we-
hungover
yeah.
as fuck from Coeur d'Alene to Sandpoint.
Yeah, not just
Yeah.
hungover.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
many different situations.
Yeah.
But
I feel
we'd
like
show up
We would
like
show up
pretty,
and-
pretty fucked up and just play like a set.
It's Sunday morning.
Play like a
I've been to
set
your
at
church
like
one
9
time
a.m.
when I was first dating your sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you playing music?
Yeah, you guys were playing music, I think, and I was just like so fucking. It was the weirdest church I've ever been to. Cause
Really?
well, I just have never been to a church like that. So you guys were
Presbyterian.
Presbyterian, so you had kind of like a little bit of that Catholic Christian kind of mix, where like she would say something and then you would repeat it back to her, or
Yeah.
say something else, and I was like, when. No one warned me about that, so
Yeah.
I'm standing there, and like she says something, and then everyone in the crowd like responds, and I was like, "Am I in a fucking cult right
Yeah.
now?" And I was like a little
Then you
freaked
realize-
out. Yeah, I was
They're
like,
like, now we're gonna play instruments. You're like, dude, this is some David Koresh fucking.
Yeah.
I went to a Catholic church one time when I was a kid, and I didn't know like to take communion as a Catholic, you have to be like baptized within the Catholic Church to even
Yeah.
take. But I wasn't used to that because at the Presbyterian Church, like anyone can receive communion. Like you just line up and blah blah blah. Like you don't have to be like part of it. So
They were the
I went-
they were the dudes in the Bible that were like letting hookers be in the church and shit.
So I
we
went
had a female
and, like,
pastor and gay people.
I'm in
our
line
choir,
thinking
and,
it's just like
yeah.
the normal thing, and my friend in front of me like says this thing and does this thing, like the
yeah,
and like
Yeah.
says this thing and then like does a special like bow, and I'm like, oh,
Oh fuck! I don't know the
and I
thing.
get up there. No, this is the funniest shit. And so like they give you the little wafer and then they pour the wine in your mouth like a little sip. And so like I walk up and I don't say shit. I'm just like just standing there, and like I think the guy's like waiting for me to say, and I'm just like, hi, like I don't even know what I said.
You're like, hi.
And
Hi,
then
Jesus.
He just like was like, all right, and like put the put the wafer in my mouth, and then instead of like letting him pour it, I grabbed the cup
Nice. You just take it.
and I just like chugged like a bunch of it and handed it back, and he was just like appalled. And I was just like, wait, why did I was just like it was like one of those nervous like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing, and I just like grabbed the cup and like chugged it and then just like handed it back and was like, and then like went and sat down and was like,
Like, I think I'm going to heaven.
yeah. Like it was weird, but like it's just weird like when you have that realization, you're like, wait, I just went to this church and they said something different,
Yeah.
and then I went here and they said something different,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wait a second.
If you really think about it, though, it makes sense why religion was started and why they were around originally. I just think they're too,
Just a moral compass.
they're just too dated, right?
Yeah.
They're just too dated is all it is. Because we're not going around. Imagine living in a world where you have to tell someone, don't go over and fucking kill that guy next door.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Don't go over and steal all
don't-
of his shit.
Please don't throw
murder.
rocks at that hooker.
Yeah.
Please
I
do
saw
not.
you. I saw you coveting.
And imagine also the fact that there's probably like 100,000, that's it, people in the whole world. So it's like you have to make sure that person isn't killing that person, because you might have to fuck that person so you can have more
make more
kids
persons,
and have
yeah.
more people.
Yeah,
Like,
you
you
need
know,
more
like
persons.
yeah. I think though that like we were all grown up in this church mentality of like we have to hate these people that aren't like us. And
Yeah,
now that we're
which I don't
adults,
get.
we don't have that anymore. We don't have the religion aspect. So
Right.
now
We
we've
just-
turned to politics, because politics is now the thing. It's you know, I see people all the time. They're yelling at people that are like, well, we don't have to vote Republican. We don't have to vote Democrat. We can do third party. And they're like, you're throwing away your fucking vote. And it's like, that's their choice. They're not throwing it away. Whatever they choose to do is their choice. Like
Right.
you don't control what they want, but people feel like it's in their heart to tell someone that they're a piece of shit,
Right.
Because of
guilt them into
Right.
putting their vote into the
Which is what
two-party
I
system.
hate.
And it's such a weird like politic year. Anyways, we're gonna vote our next president in, and there's no debates. There's nothing. So we're basing everything on Trump, what he's done,
The media,
and what
news cycle.
what Obama's done, right? Because it's not what Biden has done. He hasn't done shit. It's just him saying what he's going to do. But everyone's going to vote for him because he was the Vice President Obama.
People are going
not
to vote.
because
People are going to vote for him because he's not Trump.
right, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It could be literally like
Yeah.
anyone running.
Yeah. Which is crazy because if there was literally, this could have been the year if someone had the money to do it. And
The Rock.
anyone. We could have had a third party person come in and be like, I'm not fucking Trump and I'm not this dude smelling little girls' hair. Like, vote for me.
Right.
And he probably could have won because there's no.
Been that raw.
There's no
He
debating.
just like
going.
straight up like roast them on a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
ad.
Yeah.
He's like, both these chomo idiot old fucks just need to go.
Yeah. What's really weird is with Biden, if Biden wins, I feel like a lot of people are going to be voting for him for his vice president choice. Which
Which is
there's-
ironic.
Well, there's a theory going around. It's a rumor, and it's also, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say rumor. It's like a theory, like a conspiracy
Are
theory.
you going
It's-
to end up saying the word boogaloo?
No.
Or
this-
about him dropping out and Kamala becoming the first black
Yeah.
female president.
Well, what will happen, what's crazy with that, from my understanding, someone can correct me, is if he runs, he wins, he could drop out anytime in his 4 years, and she will become our president, but that's
Right.
not her term. So she can run for another 4 years after, and she can run for her another 4 years.
Right.
So we could end up with one of our first presidents,
12.
which is 12 years. Which I think actually in our history there was one president due to like
Did
us being in a
Lyndon
war
B. Johnson?
or something that lasted longer than 8 years. But it's kind of crazy to think. It's like it's also weird because like not a lot of people know anything about her. I don't know anything about her because there's no debates going on. It's all based on social media.
I know she's a fucking cop.
Yeah, I actually have heard that she is like was one of the worst district attorneys in history or something.
Yeah.
DAs, yeah. Which is funny because you have all these liberal people, which I'm.
That's the
neither.
whole irony
FD-
behind it.
FDR did 4 terms, first and only.
4 terms.
4 terms.
Jesus
I'm assuming
Christ.
because of the war.
16 years.
Yeah, they were like, let's just keep him.
Yeah. He's like,
That's
I'll
a
go for another
fucking-
18,
yeah.
16 years. Yeah. Why not?
4 terms. Hopefully no one ever breaks that. Yikes.
That's crazy.
5 terms is like dictatorship.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's like, okay, let's go get him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go get him. Ugh, yeah, no, fucking all that shit's gross.
When is voting? November, right? Like already coming up on it. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well,
We all know what's gonna happen.
I don't know. It's
TD is gonna get back in the office.
Oh, dude. He's gonna be right back in there, dude. Like
Yeah.
him, love him or hate him. I just don't know if I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe your conspiracy is right, and they're plotting to get what's her face.
I don't know if it's conspiracy. I think it's more like if
That's
he
the
does
strategy.
get in. Like if
Right.
he gets in, yeah, the
I
strategy.
mean, that's a
I
real
guess, yeah.
possibility if he wins and then he cannot complete his term. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
free time for her, and she can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of videos of him, and he just can't. I mean, it happens to me too,
Talk,
but he just can't talk. But I'm also not running for fucking president, you know.
yeah.
Well, but you don't
So, I
talk.
mean-
You don't like talk about like golden leg hair and like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like some of the shit, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
it worries.
Or he
me.
forgets about what he says too. So like I saw a video where he was like at I don't know where the fuck he is. It looks like some steel union fucking place. And some guy asked him a question and he was like, I didn't say that. And he's like, yeah, you did. You did say that.
You
And he's
just
just
said
getting
that.
super mad and yelling in this dude's face.
Just
and it's
senile
like
as fuck.
yeah, it's like, holy fuck, dude. Like what is it gonna happen when he like says something and
Nuke him. Wait.
yeah, why is it? Where am I? I don't know.
Take
I
out
don't know.
China.
I don't know if there is a good choice though.
No,
There isn't. There
There's
aren't
Joe
any-
Johnson. I think
Joe
it's
Jorgensen.
Jorgensen. Yeah.
That's what I kept saying.
George of the Jungle.
Jorgensen. I don't like that
Jorgen.
name.
Yeah, change it.
No.
But
Jojo, isn't it? Jojo Jorgen. Yeah, fuck.
Joe
Joe.
Jorgensen. Joe Jordan.
So, all right, here at the Police Talk Podcast, the mushrooms have in fact kicked in. It's all right.
Joe Jorgensen. It's now a Joe Jorgensen campaign.
Joe Jorgensen.
Joe Jorgensen.
Just
So I like
for the rest of
I
the hour.
never. These guys know a lot. Like I'm pretty square when it comes to doing stuff. But
Square? Whoa. You're like getting
Am
all
I square?
Scooby-Doo on me.
Am I square?
I don't know,
Okay.
Daddy-O. Are you
Okay,
fucking
shut up. Shut up. God, I can't even speak right now.
Square.
Square. So, anyways,
Damn.
God. All right, never mind.
That's something a square would say.
Square. Oh, man, never got...
Oh.
Readjust your glasses.
Yeah.
Never mind, guys.
Yeah.
Are you about to consult us because we're experts on like some kind
No,
of drug
no,
paraphernalia?
no. Ever since I've known you guys have just done so much more shit than me, and it's just crazy listening to the stories.
It's not a good thing, but I don't know. I guess
Wait,
we turned
shit,
it on.
as
I
in
think it's a good thing
substances?
on both sides.
Do you think so?
Right.
You're saying substances wise or activities?
No, I just maybe both. I don't know. I don't know. You guys probably.
He's like, you guys are just fucking crazy. is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
say.
you guys are a little bit, but it's all right though. Yeah.
Joe Jorgensen.
Jorgensen. Yeah.
Me and your daughter.
Oh, we listened to Oof. I mean, we would get copyright.
Yeah, you don't need to.
copyright
What is
rights.
it?
So there's an Outkast song,
Oh yeah, you guys talking about
Miss
this.
Jackson, and we found I don't know who the fuck found it. It's not like Kids Bop, but it's like Kids Bop. It's like this little kid that covers Miss Jackson. And he's this little white kid, of course, and it's just. There's a point where he's like, "Me and your daughter," and it's like, so
It
it's
makes
like
you-
so him doing a voice. Hey, so that's exactly what it sounds like
Does
too.
it?
It's,
Can I play that much of it?
Yeah,
don't know.
Yeah, I think it's
think-
15 seconds.
Oh yeah, so you
Yeah.
can play the cringe, the peak cringe.
It's peak cringe.
So is this kid like a upcoming Justin Bieber, or
I
is
think it's
he-
an old
Wannabe.
video. I think he
Wannabe.
missed. He's probably like already old and
Is this like a
alcoholic.
Friday song?
Yeah, kind of,
Yeah,
but it's a
yeah.
cover. So, and obviously, like, let's
the video.
he's doing a voice.
Yeah,
It's
just weird. The whole. There's all these weird things in the video too. They're just like, what? What about you and
yeah. Excuse
you're
me.
fucking
yeah.
8 or whatever?
Yeah, me and your daughter, nothing, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was at the door singing that shit for Ellie, I'd be like, listen, I'm gonna like
Yo, get your fucking
yo,
kid off my
get
lawn.
your fucking kid and your camera. And you're like,
Get your fucking TikTok kid off my fucking.
get your fucking TikTok kid. Dude, our little 8-year-olds doing TikToks like to each other.
I don't know,
on, like,
dude. It blew my
little
mind
kids.
when your mom was telling us that your dad had a TikTok, and we were like, "No, he
Oh
probably
my
he
God.
probably just watches videos." And she's like, "No,
No,
he
he's
has
he's
a
seen like WAP dances.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
what if he has like a fucking lit ass account? We like
Oh
go to
my
TikTok
God.
and
We don't
he's
even
got
know.
like
200,000 or
2.3
something
million,
yeah, dude.
and he like does all the like cameos with like
all the challenges. He's doing all the challenges.
the duets with people singing.
On the toilet. What's crazy is he's watching Fox News all day, and then like Trump's like, "It's very bad. You shouldn't use it. It's banned on military
pretty
bases."
good.
That's pretty good.
That's a really good Trump. That
The
is
Chinese government is gonna see everything you do. It's very bad. And he's like, anyways, taking a shit. He's
Yeah.
like doing the Macarena while he's taking a shit. Like the Chinese government's just hoovering up his bank account info.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, orange guy told you very bad. It's not very good for the economy.
It's gonna be.
It's going to be very
Huge.
bad. It's a huge deficit.
Yeah, TikTok. I didn't re-download it. I
We're all
can't.
TikTok free. You don't have TikTok, right?
I never got
None of us
it.
adults have
There's
TikTok.
some really fucking funny shit on there for sure.
If,
know what?
my theory
But-
is if it's funny enough, it will make it off of TikTok.
Yeah,
and be
that's the thing.
aggregated by something. I'll
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it on YouTube. I'll see it on Facebook, and
Yeah.
then that way you're only seeing the cream of the crop. You know,
I
like,
tried to have someone explain to me what the difference between TikTok and Vine was, because I was like, dude, I
time
loved Vine back in the
time
day.
length. I mean, Vine was only 7 seconds.
Yeah.
It's really just all like the filters and the like tools in the app are like way
So it's
better
Vine
than
if Vine came out now.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
back
That's
then,
all it is.
Vine didn't.
Yeah.
Even Facebook didn't.
Yeah,
have
and that's
that.
all we
Yeah.
were used to. It's just
Yeah.
press record. That's all you need.
7
Just
seconds.
press record. Yeah, you have 7 seconds.
Yeah.
But TikTok's like the same thing on like meth,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tokyo.
And now celebrities are involved, which is different. Like this is one where like, oh, what's her face has a dance, or this
Yeah.
song is. Now it's like more interconnected. Like when
Yeah.
Vine was around, it was like this weird niche thing on the internet
It was.
or on your phone that you would watch.
They had the same thing though. I know that I heard that there was a bunch of TikTok, like the top 10 or top couple of the top people at TikTok who are all like 16.
and make millions of dollars.
Yeah, they bought some mansion together just so they could do TikTok stuff together.
Oh, they
But
turned the
guys from
power
the
off?
Vine
Yeah.
did the same thing. They had
Yeah.
like a whole
Well, that's
I
where
think,
some
level of a
a lot of the
condo.
dudes that are YouTube famous now, like
Right.
like Trevor Wallace or whatever.
Okay.
Like those dudes started on Vine.
Oh yeah, okay.
Chris
yeah.
D'Elia started on Vine.
Yeah, Chris D'Elia started on Vine.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A lot of those dudes, like a lot of like now internet famous like YouTube sketch guys
Yeah.
started on Vine
Oh, okay.
because it was such like it was like good humor. It was like for some reason like funny people knew how to use it really well. So it like a bunch of people came from it because it was
Yeah,
so
Chris
fucking
D'Elia's early Vines were good. He would like prank call like a 16-year-old girl. He'd be like, "I want to have sex with you," and then he would like actually really go have sex with her. He would really go fuck her. But it all in 7 seconds. I was like,
Okay,
"Damn,
so
this
here
dude's,
though,
like,
here's the
fucking
thing that I
prolific."
like am bothered by with the whole cancel culture, and hopefully this
Is
doesn't
that
get
you're
you
just like
canceled.
you're just like I just want to fuck 16-year-olds.
No,
That's my
no,
only
no. People are going crazy on him about messages to like 22-year-olds and 26-year-olds. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
They
those are
hoes.
grown ass fucking
Those are
women.
grown-ass
Like, what are you
hoes.
doing? Like,
Yeah.
who cares what dirty,
Yeah.
gross
Court of
conversation
public
they have?
opinion decides.
Yeah, dude,
That's
that's so
it.
crazy.
It's
I think luckily though it sounds like I think he's funny. I don't know him personally.
He's-
That's the
it's
thing.
My
I don't.
favorite
yeah.
podcast of all
Yeah.
time.
he, like you
I
look
don't
at
know
him,
him
you're
personally.
like you would be a creep douchebag.
Oh, totally. But
But-
why is that his fault by the way he
Right.
looks? You
But
know?
that
Yeah.
also makes you wonder, do you think a lot of this got inflated just because of that? Because of
100%.
And he
his
played
persona.
two child molesters on TV.
Right, you know, like
twice.
because of like
oh,
just
yeah,
when
yeah.
you look at
On
him
you.
and your instant judgment is
and
that,
Workaholics.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
He
right.
played
Yeah.
Chomo on that
Yeah.
too.
I
They
didn't know
pulled-
that.
Bieber hole,
They pulled
Bieber
all,
hole 69.
Yeah, they pulled all that from Netflix. You cannot view his episodes on Workaholics, and you can't view his.
But that's
episodes
so
on
fucking
you.
stupid. I don't understand what Netflix and Amazon and all these companies think they're doing. What they're doing is they're pandering to the lowest, smallest group.
Yeah, like
it's not the whole world.
10%
It's
of people
literally
on Twitter.
10%, if not, even if that. And it's the problem is they're being reactive, not proactive. They're not changing stuff for the future, right? One of my favorite things, you guys might not get this, but maybe you will because we play D&D, is Wizards of the Coast when all this shit started happening. Which, mind you, like, I totally am for, like, I understand Black Lives Matter and stuff and all that stuff.
Killer
like,
segue. You're like, all right, so Dungeons and Dragons.
No, no,
Black
listen.
Lives do matter. And
I
I'm like,
have to
okay,
say that.
I agree
I
with
have
all of
to
this so
say
far,
that.
but where are we going?
Because, yeah. So, anyways, they reacted to the whole Black Lives Matter. Is what I
oh,
was
the
gonna say.
guys that make the Dungeons and Dragons,
Yeah.
like the sets.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they came out and they were like, okay, so Black Elves, Drow, and Orcs from now on won't be seen as evil from the next set coming out, right? Nothing is funnier than reading comments from actual black people, African Americans or whatever, on Reddit who are like, at what point did these motherfuckers think that we look like orcs? You
Right.
know, like,
Yeah, they're straight up being like, hey, so sorry we thought you guys looked like orcs since the creation of Dungeons. Oops, dude.
Jeez.
Dude, big ass oops to those fedora
yeah,
wearing.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
That's rough.
Yeah. So they
Just DJ Khaled, you played yourself.
They were because of like the people that work there and they're very progressive. They got slammed. And I'm proud of the
Fucking
whole situation
Flavortown
of my
shirt
nerd friends
wearing.
because they were like, "No, you're stupid. Like there can be bad races. They're not fucking saying black people are bad or Mexicans are bad. They are orcs,
assuming,
you
yeah.
know? And they're also, you shouldn't assume that orcs look like black people.
I think maybe what they're trying to do
It's
is
the
be like, okay,
craziest
we're
thing.
gonna have as least of a racist game. Like, okay, maybe we don't think they're orcs, but they're a different race than the white, European people in the game.
Sure.
So maybe
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's rough.
that's rough. So good guy orcs are coming now.
I don't even know what they're doing. They haven't released anything of what they're doing for the Drow, the Black Elves, or the orcs.
They're like the good dark.
But
black.
what's
They're like,
crazy
"Ugh, covered
is-
in skulls. They're like, we just want peace and love, and fucking
yeah.
just sitting on bone thrones. They're like, we're actually the good guys.
Yeah.
These cow farmers are like, fucking, we love the devil. I want to fucking kill children. Like, they're just out in a nice field, like churning butter, like hailing Satans. And the dudes in the bone throne are like, how do we lower carbon emissions? You know, pointy ears. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm concerned with our eco footprint.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our carbon footprint's getting pretty high. I know it's the Bronze Age, but we really need to be cognizant of the resources we're consuming.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, it's just so weird that whatever the hot topic is, people have to.
Get political. This disease is political now. I mean,
it totally is, but which doesn't make sense. Why is it political? Why does it have to be political? It
yeah,
doesn't
because
have
the
to be
mask
political.
thing is now political. It's
Why?
so
Yeah.
weird. You like the conservative counties don't have mask mandates, and the more,
Yeah.
liberal ones do.
I think what's weird is so like for myself, I see myself like more Republican when it comes to my business. I don't want to pay fucking to help out a bunch of people that aren't trying, because I started my business, and I've said before, with like my income tax and a small loan, which was very small. It was like $4,000. I think you were there when your dad gave it to me. And like that's it. And I struggled for a long time. I shouldn't have to pay that out, but at the same time I do have liberal views. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. I don't care what you call yourself. I don't care any of that stuff.
You're like
you know?
fiscally
Don't
Republican,
hurt
socially
me.
liberal.
Yeah, don't hurt me and don't hurt my family, and that's all I care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not religious, right? I consider myself more Republican, but I'm not religious. So it's hard for people to like pin me down and be like, "Oh, well, you're this way, and you're gonna go this way." And it's like, well, no, I'm just a
That's the
human.
whole broken
How about
thing.
I'm just a human?
Right.
you
That's
know?
why I
Like,
defaulted to like
Yeah.
Libertarian Party.
Sure, yeah.
Because at least it's not like
One or the other.
just so hard.
They're just like, oh, you're
Yeah.
nobody.
hardcore.
Yeah, and I need to do more research about that because that's probably where I stand. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people have said that too.
I think what's
Individual freedoms.
I
Yeah.
think like the like
Chaotic neutral.
you could sum it up as like anti-interventionist
Yeah.
Republican maybe, or like an anti-interventionist conservative, but with liberal social views. Like,
Sure.
I don't give a fuck what you do; it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
But that's why the mask mandate isn't political for me, because like I don't like leaving my home, so I
Right.
don't have to wear a mask because I fucking don't go anywhere.
Right.
you
Well,
know?
it's like when you come to our shop. So we've had some people who say like, "I'm not going to wear a mask." They try to put up some political thing about, their stance, and it's like, okay, well, I don't care. Right now, our mandate is to do it, and if you want a tattoo, you have to
Yeah.
do it. Like, we would rather not sit there for fucking 3 hours and tattoo with a mask on. We can barely breathe. Can't have a conversation really with people, and do our job. I just think it's so weird. It's just turned into like all these politics, and it just has to go. But like you said, back to the whole tribal mentality. Everything has to be tribal with us.
Yeah.
It's probably like we'll never
If
actually
you're not this, then
do anything.
It's like
fuck you.
ingrained in human nature to like have a team and have a tribe and
Yeah.
have a group. And
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever.
How
gonna
about think
change.
for yourself?
Yeah, totally.
If you're worried about it, then follow the steps. I
Yeah.
guess if you're not worried about it right now, you just look like a fucking asshole. So you should probably just worry about it and wear a
Right.
mask and be respectful.
Right.
Yes.
Even if you don't believe in it or worry about it.
Yeah,
other
we didn't
people
have to. We
do.
went to Super One today, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I don't have masks. We should probably just wear one." If anything, like out of respect for the people at the work that have to wear the masks.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Like kind of like I mean, they have to. I might as well.
I really wish it was a missed opportunity. I wish I would have asked the doctors if there was any way they could have done it. But the 6 days I was in the hospital, I wore masks 24/7. Literally 24/7, other than when I was in the bathroom.
We were sleeping.
So I
the whole
slept with a mask on.
Fuck.
I sat there with a mask on. I did all
thing. People
that.
looked at your dick while you had a mask on.
Yeah. And then so I wanted to know like if my oxygen levels had actually gone down or whatever, because
or if
like
you're just-
Can they easily test that at the hospital? I'm assuming that's best to go to get your oxygen levels tested. But is
yeah, I
that
mean
something that
through your
they-
blood, right? or
Is that something they do regularly, anyways?
Yeah, maybe.
your oxygen
I mean,
level?
maybe I could figure it out But it would just be interesting to know because that's like feel like the main on the right side. That's their main complaint. They're like, oh, I can't breathe. My oxygen level is dropping.
They're driving some jacked up diesel that
and
blows
it's
black
like-
smoke. Like, my oxygen levels are too low. You're like, yeah, okie dokie.
Yeah, my oxygen levels.
That is you have made that clear that you do not receive enough oxygen to your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, he's right. Don't let him wear a mask. He needs all the oxygen he can get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think anything will go back to normal?
I don't think music and shows and all that is going to
No.
even recover for another year.
No, it's
think
like
so,
it's
too.
like a
It's so
9/11
bad.
where like everything
It's a
going forward is
9/11.
going to have extra precautions regardless because
Do you think though that it's hard to always see positives, but do you think that it'll come out with any positives?
being cleaner humans.
I think, yeah, people
I think
will,
so, too.
people's hygiene
I
will
think
be
so
more
too.
of a
Yeah,
priority.
hygiene,
No,
like,
I think so too.
just being semi-aware.
I think
of your,
other things also will not be as bad of a spread. Like flu seasons will be
Yeah,
milder
because
now because
people will
people
be
are just, they're used
taking
to this.
COVID precautions, but what that also
Like, hey, it's flu
impacts
season.
every
It's
other
like,
sickness.
The
right?
shitty thing, or maybe the reality now is that like every fall we're probably going to be wearing masks now.
Oh, sure. But I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's just
China.
weird.
A lot
It's
of those
weird.
countries have been doing it for years.
It's
I
not
know.
hard, especially for people in the Northwest.
Sure.
Because think about like
It's cold
the
as fuck.
seasons, like what the everything's fucking closed here in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going out and like, so it's easy to just quarantine and wear a mask when you do out. It's cold anyway, so you have to wear a mask. I can see it being challenging in fucking psycho places like Florida and
Dude.
Texas and
Yeah, working out in a field,
Southern California.
bucking
and
hay
stuff.
bales with
See, I
masks on.
waver back and forth, and I think like out of most of the people I know, I think I'm more the conspiracy person. I think it's not a conspiracy I've read or anything, but I do every once in a while get concerned that things are going to get worse. Because I feel like the states are now battling, especially if Trump does get reelected, all the states are battling Trump. And they're also battling each other, right? So you
It's
have
the main-
Idaho and Washington, who are borders, battling each other. And I wonder when's that breaking point. I mean, it's such a crazy thing to think about, like, oh, fuck, the state's splitting up or something like that happening. But a year ago, did you think that, or not even, almost now we're coming up in a year, in March, but I mean, before this happened, could you ever think of this even happening?
No, this was not even
Absolutely not. Yeah.
not even
Insane.
in
Yeah.
the worst case scenario or the back of my head. I was like, it's either going to be one of those like it's over in a month, or it's going to kill a lot of people and be over quick. Like it's
Yeah.
going to blow through like a wildfire.
Yeah, I
and be
remember my
done.
last day of work, March 23rd, like in the office when they were like, all right, we're closing up. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, well, this will be like 2 weeks.
Right. This will be
And
today.
then it was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is going to be a month.
We were having
And then
Friday
it
the
was like
13th.
a
yeah.
month goes by and they're like, it's getting worse. And they're like, okay, it's going to be, they've capped it at 3 months. And I was like, 3 months, whatever. This is weird. I kind of like it, whatever. And then like 3 months went by and we're like, wait, what's going on? They're like, it's getting worse because everyone's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. The economy.
and we
is
said it was
crashing.
going to get worse.
The
and
economy
it's-
is like, I mean, people don't understand. Like, oh, I need my stimulus check. I need my stimulus check, and they don't understand. Like, you can't print money. Like, when you print money, the money that we have and our value of our money goes down.
Right.
So if it gets to a point where we're printing out money to help people out, and our value of our dollar collapses, it doesn't matter how much money they give you in the first place.
right.
Right.
Bread's
Right.
going to be $10,000.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because that's
Right.
what happened during
Yeah.
the Great Depression. It's like they have those old school cartoon political pictures of a guy with a wheelbarrow full of fucking money
Right, just to buy a loaf of
buy
bread.
a loaf of bread.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird when I think about it. I don't see how we're gonna come out of it, and I think that has to do with the fact that we have no leadership, governor or president. There is no leadership. That's why I don't like Inslee, is because I feel like it would have been amazing if we had a guy who was real with us and came out instead of saying the science and facts, and never showing us the science and facts, but was like, hey, this is fucked up, and like, you guys are gonna have to stay home. We're gonna try to take care of you guys as much as possible. Like, be a real human, you know,
Yeah.
and be like, hey, I understand people are struggling. We're gonna try to help you guys as much as possible, you know.
See, I think the opposite. I think humans are incredibly resilient and good at adapting. I think that's like what makes us humans. And I think as corny as this sounds, our country is very fucking good at like bouncing back from shit.
I think so too.
And I think we're also very good at like once we integrate something into our culture, it sticks really hard. So I think that we're all learning how to like not be gross touching everything, and
Yeah.
a lot of that's going to stick around, and that's probably forever. A lot of that
yeah.
shit. And masks are going to be a way more like it wasn't an item in my daily life, and now it's like important. I need some in my car, in my house. If I go anywhere, it needs to be some on me. But yeah, I think we bounce back, and regardless of who's president, I think we're just like,
That's the main reason why I just really hope Trump doesn't get reelected, is mainly just to calm everyone down while
Sure.
we figure it
but don't you
out.
think that pisses other people off? It's like almost
Yeah,
no matter who.
I don't know. I don't
Like
know what's
he-
worse.
now in
though.
Idaho,
but
they're pissed.
what's the more volatile side to piss off? You know, like what's the more dangerous? You know, it's like
Some people would say that is the right.
yeah,
'Cause they
But
have
I think
guns.
yeah, exactly what you said. I think the left is right now. So I don't have a problem with left or right. I have a problem is with the uneducated, hardcore victims or hardcore aggressive people.
right.
Right? So I'm a victim, and I have to tell everyone that I was Me Too'd and fucking this and that, and I have to be on the platform, and I have to follow the trend, even if it didn't even fucking happen to them, because there's all these cases of fucking stars now being caught with the whole Johnny Depp thing. Have you guys followed that? Dude, Johnny Depp.
Or his wife's crazy or whatever the fuck.
Absolutely crazy, dude. Crazy story. So she was accusing him of abuse, and she Me Too'd him, and she was one of the first people to kind of start that whole thing. Well, to go find out, she bit his fucking finger off, like super abusive. All these things that she would do to him. One time, she got angry at him, and so she didn't want him to. No joke. This is in the court documents. One time, she got so mad at him, she didn't want him sleeping in the bed with him, so she shit on his side of the bed. We're talking about the chick from.
We're talking about Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, we're talking about the chick from Aquaman, the redhead. Have you guys seen that movie yet?
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Super
her.
hot.
Oh, that's who this
that's
is?
Her. That's the
What?
chick. Yeah, he lost. That's why he wasn't in the last Caribbean movie. He got kicked out of that because of all this shit. All these things that have happened to him, where he's lost all these millions of dollars.
Amber
worth of job.
Heard?
Yeah, and go to find out, it was her doing this shit the whole time, right? But he had already lost all these jobs. He had already been called a fucking abuser. And the problem that I have, like, there's even these guys that I follow online who are podcasters.
Johnny Depp looks like a scared, wet
Weasel.
Like, he looks like a salamander crawling out from underneath a rock, like, glistening. And she looks like a fucking hawk flying through the air, dude.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
like, please don't kill me, dude. Man,
Yeah.
het se cuck. Like, that's rough. That is rough, dude.
Yeah.
Cuck Sparrow.
I don't know. So that's what I was saying. I just I went on a rant, and yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, yikes, dude. He looks like 52 Jump Street. Like, just rough, dude. Yeah, dude. What happened to Johnny Depp? Did he just, like, age overnight? 'Cause
Well,
like,
he
Yeah.
was like hella doing drugs too.
what was he
Oh, yeah.
doing? Was he, just cocaine?
Probably
just
like
kind of
heroin and
everything. A
everything.
lot of
He
drinking.
was like rough.
Yeah.
He was just like
He's-
hanging out with Keith Richards, and
looking old now.
probably like they were just like swapping each other's blood or something.
I mean, look at him here.
Whatever the fuck they do.
Yeah, look, he looks healthy there. He looks like a, fucking.
He
like
he
makes
was
wine.
he would show up at Marilyn Manson concerts and play guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just
That's crazy.
gacked out of his mind.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to play guitar with Marilyn
Yeah,
Manson.
there's
He's
like videos
"It's
of him
Johnny
like
Depp,"
playing like Beautiful People and like
Damn.
yeah, and he just like hangs out with the Rolling Stones.
He was the
Dude, they're still alive. Holy shit.
He was the first person to get killed by Freddy.
Who?
That's right.
Yeah.
Who was the first? Oh,
Johnny Depp was.
yeah.
Yeah.
How old is Keith Richards? Guess.
80,
Oh, I don't know.
84.
84. I'm gonna go 90.
I'll go 87.
He is only 76.
What?
Yeah, like 109.
You're like, I'm gonna go ancient here. I know. I'm gonna go wizardly. I'm gonna
Like,
say.
the pyramids.
I mean, just looking at him, 130.
Dude, he looks like the Green Goblin, dude. He's like, I'm gonna get you, Spider-Man. Look at him. Look at him, dude. He's just like... He looks like fucking... He literally looks like a tea bag that's already been used. You know, just
Oh my
a wrung
God.
out tea bag, dude.
Oh, fuck.
Look at that little weasel. Dobby the house guitarist. Like... He just look at him, dude. I wouldn't trust that motherfucker.
Like that face that he's
Yeah.
making right there is like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's like,
snuck a finger in your butthole.
Oh my god.
the Crocodile Dundee hat and the yeah, there was rumors like like the Marilyn Manson sucking his dick on a bus thing or like the bus.
Everybody,
rumor.
there's like a
got his
Marilyn
rumor.
Yeah, his
Manson
ribs removed.
sucking.
Ribs
Yeah,
removed.
Yeah, he
Like,
sucked
did you
dick on a
guys know
bus.
that?
Yeah.
Did you guys know that Marilyn Manson has sucked everyone's dick? He sucked your dick? Did you know Marilyn Manson sucked your dick?
No, but yeah, there was the rumor that he got his ribs removed. One of the ones about Keith Richards is that he goes to get his blood changed out.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure
whoa.
that's
Man, he looks
100%
like
true.
The
Yeah.
villain from Ernest Scared Stupid. Someone in the front row squirting him with milk.
Yeah, like pouring milk on him. He looks like a stray
Wow.
dog.
Yeah,
Oh,
seriously looks like, yeah. In the arms of the angel.
For 2 fucking cents
Yeah.
a day.
We'll finally fucking kill Keith Richards. Dude, yeah. Wow.
I mean, props, dude.
yeah, dude. Fucking
I
just-
can't even hate. Like, holy shit. That guy
Still
has
alive.
probably done everything.
Oh sure.
He's probably shot heroin into his dick.
Dude, it looks
Well, like
someone
fucking a tiger.
drew a face on a thumb. Like, it just... Google image, how old is Keith Richards?
Are you allowed to put pictures up like this?
I can just, yeah, I
You
can
should
put
end
these
them in the
pictures up.
video, for sure.
Oh, I'll send Dylan these and have him put them up because, goddamn, yeah, he looks like a damn Muppet, like just snuffleupagus fucking ass. Wow.
What about
I feel bad because what keeps happening.
He
is we
dies
get these
tomorrow.
Intense conversations, and then the
we start
mushrooms hit me
roasting someone?
again. We start roasting,
Start roasting Keith
and the whole conversation shifts.
Mick Jagger? Look at Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger, I feel like
Looks like a cartoon
How
character.
old?
he
How old do you
looks
guys
like
think he
my
is?
grandma.
Probably
Oh.
like the same, right? Like
Yeah.
70 something.
74 or something.
Is it Jagar or Jagger?
I'm gonna say 76.
You're gonna say 76
Yeah.
younger. Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. I'm retarded. You can't say that word anymore.
77.
77. Was that he? What's his face was 79.
79, I think. Yeah.
Dobby
No,
was 79.
74.
Dobby.
76.
He was
He's younger.
74.
So that's funny. Everyone talks about how old is Keith Richards, but fucking Mick Jagger's older. The bastard. Look at him though. Yeah, he looks like a goddamn man. I don't know.
Can you imagine when we're all
Impressive
that
set of
old?
hair. Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Just neck looks like a testicle.
Straight up.
Dude, yeah, getting old's gonna suck, dude.
Yeah.
Your whole body just looks like a fucking nutsack, and you're
Yeah.
just like
Oh.
very weak. I mean, look at-
I'm just hoping
just
by
start-
that time we've like reached that point in technology where we can just like take our brain
Dude,
and just like
yeah.
his,
here's a new
his
sleeve.
whole face is teeth, dude. Just. Oh my god.
It's kind of got a Willem Dafoe look to
like
him.
a basset hound with short ears. Yeah, Willem Dafoe always said his head looks like a bicycle seat. Like,
Oh my god.
have you ever noticed that his head is just so?
A bicycle seat. Makes sense.
Spider-Man. Yeah, it's just like I don't know. He's got a weird shaped head. But yeah, man, that guy. That guy looks like a cigarette butt. Like,
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
just the
He'd
wrinkles.
be such a
and
good Joker, though.
I saw some people were
Dude,
saying like
no
we should play Rick
shit.
and Morty. Play
Oh,
the
yeah.
wizard dude or the professor dude.
The
the
wizard.
wizard guy.
He kind of is a
Child
wizard.
molesting
actually.
wizard.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
He looks like he could play that guy.
He would be a
Is that
great
Rick or is that
Joker.
Morty?
That's Rick.
Rick is the old guy in the lab coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think the new Batman's gonna have a new Joker?
No, it's got the Riddler. It looks
So
good.
it's got the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Penguin.
But they would eventually have to if they stuck with the timeline right.
Yeah. I don't know. So, like, there's a lot of
Spider-Man.
rumors that. Have you guys seen the Joker? The movie, The
Yeah.
Joker?
Yeah,
What
very
did you
good.
guys think?
Good. Dark.
Yeah, it was super dark.
Yeah,
it was
I
good.
loved it. I love movies that are like
I
character
almost, like-
development sort of.
I don't know. I just wish it was like when they get like too real, it like takes away from the like fact that it's a comic book.
Sure.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
there should still be, in my opinion, there should still be some like unrealistic
Supernatural.
things that happen.
Yeah.
But in
That makes
DC,
it,
it's not
like-
like that all the time, which is
Yeah.
weird because then when it is like that,
But
it's
people
way too
keep
much like
wanting it
that.
to be like as real as possible, and it's
Yeah.
cool. But at that point, it's just like a good movie.
I think
I don't-
that
it's just
the
like a
way
good
I always
movie.
see
It
movies
is
like
supposed
that.
to be standalone. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Well, so that's the rumor is that actually it's not. That's the same world.
Actually, it's not.
he said-
some DC forum. Actually, it's not. Like,
no,
just
no,
some
no. So
fucking
the rumor
nerd.
is that the
Joaquin
new
Phoenix
Batman
himself.
is set in the same universe.
Confirmed that he would do it. A Joker too, in fact.
In fact,
If you look towards the end of the film, you'll notice
clearly,
there's clearly a setup for a sequel here.
it's clear. Only an idiot would not.
You must not pay attention.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't read the comics. The lore says
Anyways,
that.
I think that it's cool. The way I see it is like, if it was set in a real world, this is the way it would work. You know?
Yeah.
Not.
I
that
do
it's-
like that fact of
Yeah.
it. You know,
I understand
Like,
where you're coming from,
but you
'cause
know what I mean?
love that's the whole idea is like comic books and superheroes. It takes you away from our shitty world,
Right.
And it puts you in a world,
and that's
that-
why I've always said I like
Where
sci-
dudes
sci-fi
just run around in
and fantasy
underwear
shit.
all day.
Fuck
and
yeah,
fucking,
man.
I want to be in a world where buff dudes are just flying through the air, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's- like how like homoerotic these old dudes in the 50s were like, man, World War II is really rough. What if we lived in a world where like no one wore shirts and we were all jacked and flying around just coming in each other, like making super babies? Like, look, it's Sphinx Woman. I'm gonna bang her and make Catboy, and like they're just like, well, we gotta tone it down. It's the 1950s, you know, and all that. And so their version of toning it down is just Superman's got a fucking gnarly bulge. Episode 1, he's just like, I'm crushing a car with a fucking half mast, like
oh man,
like.
It's like a baby's home holding an
Yeah.
apple.
It's just like, I don't know. It just seems like the repressed.
probably back then for sure.
I mean, if all the music like you had to listen to, it's like. You're like, I don't know. Maybe I'll fucking just start sucking dicks. I guess. Like, hey, Johnny, turn on the radio. He's like, I really don't want to. It's just that fucking weird horn, the only horn that anyone can ever play. What was that instrument that just music was only that? Was it
It's
just
a
like
muted. It's a muted trumpet.
it's like a terrible,
just
just
a trumpet with a
bad-
mute. You just put one of those.
Yeah, one of those
donut
blocking.
things.
Is that all that
Yeah.
was? But it just sounds like everything. If you go just far enough back,
It's quieter.
everything is just like.
That was their time. though. I'm a racist frog.
We should. Yeah, you're like, yeah. We should go to war.
And everybody's racist. Do-do-do.
Yeah, where's Warner Brothers and
Everybody.
all this Me Too? They're like, don't
keeping
ask us
their
about the
lips
frog.
quiet.
Yeah, they're like, don't ask us about the frog. Don't ask
Yeah.
us about the giant
Yeah.
racist rooster. Don't ask
It's so
us
funny
about.
though, because like even like Disney has some of those old cartoons that have been resurfaced, where like Donald Duck wakes up and he like gives Zeke Kyle to a poster of like Hitler and all
Jesus
this stuff.
Well, that's the
and
one
people
where
just accept it.
That's
though.
real?
People are
How have I
no,
not
that
seen-
is a real
but
cartoon.
it's a bit taken out of context because he like
Isn't he doing the Charlie Chaplin thing or? Is it...
no, he's like infiltrating the Nazis in the
okay.
cartoon,
Okay.
so he has to act like them.
Yeah, yeah.
So he like,
They edited out the part where he's like,
But
actually
still.
having to kill a Jew to blend in.
but still, it's like, was it that?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Or was it your
Yeah.
way of like being able to make this cartoon
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, it's anti-Nazi.
Because the rumor is that Walt Disney was super
Super
anti-Jew.
racist.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
was super anti-Jewish.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
a Nazi.
Yeah.
Confirmed
like
Nazi.
1 hundo.
But as now a society, we've kind of just accepted it. We're just kind of like, yeah,
You know that- you
he
know
was
that-
super racist, but I love
like,
the
yeah,
cartoons.
but Lion King.
You know about, I mean,
Lion King.
you know about the connection between Warner von Braun and Operation Paperclip and NASA and Disney.
I know about that stuff. Yeah,
So yeah,
and
we
then
brought
also
over we brought over German scientists. They were head of the rocket factory or rocket program in Germany. So he was involved in NASA, but so was Walt Disney. So he was like literally working side by side with Nazis to like help us get to the moon.
yeah. I mean,
then
it's
making
there's that
cartoons.
meme.
Making
I thought
cartoons.
Zach actually didn't you put up? Maybe someone else I know put up a meme recently where it was that. It was like literally a picture, and it was like German soldiers go to prison, German scientists go to NASA or whatever.
Right.
And it's
yeah.
like I thought it was you for some reason, but yeah, it's totally what it was. I mean, I watched this stupid show. It makes you think, and I think part of it is for sure fake, but some of it's real. They talk about, I want to say it's called the Rat Trails or Rat something, and after World War II, thousands of German officers and high-up soldiers were given fake identities, tons of money by the
To
Vatican.
go to South America.
By the Vatican and go to South America.
Yeah.
They actually like turn them into, oh, this is my friend blah 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 who's a priest and he's going
Yeah.
here and he's also taking these 300 people.
Were you, were you watching
also-
that? Were you watching that Nazi Hunter?
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
show?
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Which is like, you can tell some of it's fake, but it also
Right.
has real stuff like lined in there. And so
Right.
after that,
Some of them definitely did escape to South America, and some of them definitely did live out the rest of their lives. The question was A, is there some still alive? B, did they have children down there?
I mean, dude, if there's any alive, they're so old.
I don't
and
know
how
why-
can you
yeah.
prosecute the children for? what they
Yeah, I
fought
think
at?
it was. They were just interested in like what kind of impact was there.
How far along did you watch that video or that show?
I think I fell asleep because I was watching it in bed at night. I think I got about halfway.
I think in the
They were
second
interviewing the
season,
families and stuff.
Yeah, second season I think is where they get they actually show real stuff. Where in South America, there was a actual literally German compound that was like all fenced off, all that stuff, and it was ran by a guy who eventually only got arrested in his like 80s or 90s because he molested a bunch of fucking kids. And then they found out, oh, you're not John Smith, you're fucking Heidler, blah blah blah, part of
Right.
you killed
He was, like, in
thousands of
the
people,
SS.
and then they like execute him. But the thing is at that point you've lived your life, so who cares?
Right.
You know.
so they
good job, you.
Some Brazilian people ended up killing him.
Yeah, because from what I understand is after a certain point, parts of South America were pro-Nazis, but it was the government. When the governments got overthrown, they no longer wanted to harbor all these Germans that had fled.
Gotcha. It was like a deal.
And so they were like, yeah, they were starting to hunt them all down and all that
Whoa.
stuff and turn them in.
There's a cool movie for you.
Yeah,
They're like hunting down fucking Nazi camps.
Yeah. But it's like there was that German soldier or officer that got caught. What was it, like 5 or 6 years ago?
Oh yeah.
And he was like
like
in his
ancient,
80s,
yeah,
right, or
ancient.
90s. So why does he care at
Same
that
with
point?
like they caught the
And still kill him. Still kill him.
The-
No, I
Yeah.
say kill him. But
Yeah.
at that point, for that guy,
Golden
it doesn't mean
State
shit.
Killer. That was the cop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He killed like 70 something people or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like he's like 80.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
still,
like he's
still
getting
kill him.
life in prison. You're like,
Okay. No, you should stab him in the neck, right? I mean,
But also on top of that, because he's such a high-profile person, he is gonna get his own cell.
yeah, because
You know what I mean?
they're gonna
He's
try
not-
to squeeze him for
and he's so-
every bit of everything they can get before he dies.
Yeah, and he's also not a high risk if he's that old, so they're not gonna put him in a shitty prison where like he's gonna, he'll be fine. You know, he's not gonna get instained or whatever. You know, where-
Instinct.
where-
Epstein.
Yeah, where he magically kills himself.
Insleed.
The first.
That was a Freudian slip. He's not gonna get Insleed.
Yeah,
Like-
Insleed. Wait, what is his name? What is his name?
Epstein.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like how everyone just forgot about Glisdane Maxwell. Or
Go,
whatever.
hey,
Glisdane.
no one can say that her name.
Is that it?
I
Glisdane?
can't say it.
I
I just
don't-
say Maxwell.
You said
Maxwell.
Glisdane, and I
I
love
don't-
that more than
I,
anything.
just, I feel
I,
like that's.
I feel like either
I think
two
it's
things are
Ghislaine.
happening. She's
Ghislaine.
either already dead, or they actually don't want to say anything because they really don't want her to get killed. You know, like
How is it something that fucked up and that big, just like, and it's not. I'm not even blaming the media for this one. Everyone just forgot about it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, but we need to go back to fighting each other."
Well, no, it turned into the Save the Children thing.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
So I think that it turned into
Which is a real thing. I'm really for that. It's
not fucking kids.
I'm not for fucking
absolutely.
kids. I
Yeah.
don't think you should
Good
have
stance.
to. No, I am for the fact that like things that I've read and people I've talked to have said like, oh well, yeah, like since our closures or whatever, depression is heightened. So there's way more domestic violence, more child abuse,
Yeah.
more kids going hungry.
Right.
There's, I mean, you got to think kids. There are kids out there where their only safe place is school, and their only meal is coming from school.
Yeah.
And then also, what's crazy is they thought that child abduction would go down, but it's doubled. And it makes
Because
sense.
of the mask.
Everyone's wearing a mask. Dude, I just watched the other day on fucking YouTube. Someone posted a guy's walking with his dog.
the dog.
Has a girl on a ledge. She's walking. A dude walks straight up, tries to grab the girl.
Yeah.
And so the dad grabs him and wraps the girl around him. And the dude is punching the guy in his head and just going fucking crazy.
Trying to get.
Oh
the
yeah,
fucking-
the attacker.
The
is.
attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get this little girl. And
Couple
some
things,
old
though.
guy just walks up and he's
The
just
old
like,
guy didn't do shit.
not a
'cause
thing.
Whatever, he was old and stupid.
guns.
But also that dog was a piece of shit. The dog was
So,
like
I agree
not
with someone.
doing shit.
Yeah.
And also
Mean or dogs?
do push-ups. Like
Do push-ups.
if you live in a city and
Yeah.
you're taking your kid out every day in
Yeah.
a city,
Yeah.
quit
you
being
need to
such
be
a-
able to be ready
quit being
for
such a
shit like that.
fucking
Like you need to be
goddamn
aware
bagel.
that shit's real and be
Yeah.
ready to defend your fucking kid. Like beat some dude's fucking face.
Yeah.
in.
Oh yeah.
work out a
but,
little bit.
So I
Be
watched the video.
situationally
I
aware.
watched the video several times, and
Why is she walking on the street side?
Why-
No. So it's
It
like
wasn't. He's.
it's like almost. Like
It is
a-
crazy because she's right next to him.
Yeah. So it's like you're walking with Ellie, and you have a dog, and she's up on a ledge walking because she
Oh,
wants to
right,
walk on
right.
the ledge. So she's holding your hand. She's walking on the ledge. Literally, a guy, stereotype with a fucking trench coat, comes up, has a mask on, literally just tries to grab her, and the dad's just like, "What the fuck?" and grabs her and sweeps her up and holds her in his chest. Well, this dude's going crazy, just punching her and shit.
Yeah.
And after watching it several times, I think he did the right thing because what happens?
Did he just
if
shell up and protect
Yeah,
her?
yeah.
Oh, I would have dropped
Yeah.
that kid like a hot rock and absolutely
That's what's hard to
butt-fucked
say.
that guy in the
Here's the
Because what if they have
difference.
someone
we're
else
all,
there?
We're all pretty big guys. We're all pretty big guys, but that guy is definitely not a big guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's his body.
He
body.
needs- yeah.
And so what he's doing is he's protecting her with what he has for his mass. My other worry in my head when I watched it was, let's say.
That was weird.
Sorry, notification just
Oh.
went through my entire body.
Yeah. I felt that in my spine.
When it happened at
was the
first, I was
deepest
like,
I've
"Is this
ever
in
felt
my brain?"
A
And no one else is.
notification. I like looked
And we
around.
peeked.
Yeah. I was like,
That was actually
That was the
actually
thermometer,
a message
yeah.
being like, "Hey, these kids need to fuck." They're like ready to go.
Okay.
Like, dying.
So,
out there.
well, what I was gonna say is, when I watched it a few times, I kind of understand in the sense of like his body type, his body shape. That's the best he could do. But also in my head, I'm like, well, what if I fight back and that dude knocks me out?
yeah,
Boom, my kid's gone forever.
forever.
Yeah.
So I would almost rather do what
Just
he
make sure that you're staying
Yeah,
conscious.
as long as you hold on to that kid.
Because he's gonna be kicking you in the head if he really wants the kid. You're gonna
Yeah.
get knocked out, and that's gonna happen anyways. You need
But-
to
I mean, it's
square
back
up-
and forth.
You need to square up with that
It,
dude. And fucking
you have to, but
knock him
it's
out.
you have to play it by ear because it's situational.
It's
like,
situational.
buff. Okay, buff dudes don't fuck.
Because that guy
kids.
didn't.
But
that guy
here's
didn't
the
have
other
trouble
thing.
going right up and
The
grabbing
initial, like you said, like if you're a pretty big dude, you're less likely that that's even going to happen in the first place. That
Right.
the guy's going to look for someone that's vulnerable,
Right.
Yeah.
a small.
That's
weak
probably
guy.
why it was happening to the
But-
guy. He's probably smaller, dude.
But like,
Or have
I think he
buff
did do the
kids.
right thing for him
Yeah.
in that situation because he didn't look like a fighter.
No.
So his best bet was making sure, no matter what, that he does not let go of this kid,
Yeah.
and because he's not going to be able to stand up and
Oh,
fight
and that
this
guy-
dude, obviously.
I don't know where the video is, but I don't even want to watch
Guns.
it again. I'll probably never send it to you. But if you come across it, I mean, he's on top of the attacker is on top and just punching the dude.
Yeah,
Like-
but also the attacker, like, is punching like a girl.
Oh, totally.
So it's like, but that's not always going to be the case. What if
Right.
the guy has
Or the guy's a gun.
a gun, a knife,
yeah,
Again, guns.
cities,
yeah.
Be aware. Not just cities, actually.
Well, that's my biggest
everywhere.
worry with Kaylee is like
Be
Kaylee
everywhere-
will
everywhere.
go to the store with Violet and let Violet walk ahead of her, you know. And it's like it's crazy
Are
world
you
that we
gonna go
live
chase
in.
down a dude?
Yeah,
just
she's
has
not
her?
going to. Yeah.
Right.
So it's crazy world we live in that's something you even have to worry about.
Violet should have a gun.
Well, it's
too.
kind of weird because earlier in
Yeah.
the conversation we said, you know, like the Bible was written when times when like you had to tell people to stop killing each other, and it's like
Sure.
we're
Stop raping kids.
literally
Yeah, we're doing
like,
something like just as almost
Yeah.
as bad, or if just.
So
as
it's
bad.
like I don't know. Maybe it's time for the second coming,
Well, shit.
which would be aliens.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We come full circle and we become super religious because we think the world is so morally corrupt. But
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. We got to wrap it up because these fucking kids outside are like dying. It's a school night and it's like almost 10 o'clock.
Oh shit.
Thank you guys for sitting in.
Totally.
Hopefully next week I'll figure something out. And then Dylan's on like a 14-day quarantine, so he probably won't be back for the next episode either. So hang tight, and we will see you later.
Bye.